Welcome back, Shimboners. How about that? Hearts to hearts and hands to hands. What a win for the mighty North Melbourne Footy Club. Plenty wrote us off. I'm sure a lot of our fan base did as well. But our second biggest ever comeback against the Gold Coast Suns in our best win, arguably, since the 2014 elimination final. The Big Chiefs here. He's fired up. He's watched the replay, and we've got plenty of thoughts. So I'm going to go ahead early. I think this will be our best part of the year because
Gee.
cannot wait. Couldn't sleep last night. I was that excited to do it, but obviously you had work commitments and we've got it out as early as we can. But what is your biggest takeaway from yesterday's thrilling victory?
I'm just so proud of them. Well, the fight, the shin boner fight, the boner time in the fourth quarter
Oh,
came on, didn't it?
I'll tell you what, that certainly did.
And my man George led the way.
It did. My biggest takeaway is similar, and it's the Shinbone spirit's back.
Yep.
Like the never say die attitude of this group. They've matured. They've taken the next step. I don't care what anyone says. Even in the games we're not winning, we're never quitting.
No,
Never saying
no
die.
quit.
And I'm just so thrilled with the result yesterday. I
Oh,
honestly didn't think we'd win even up until until Zerha had that set shot.
yeah, as long as he didn't kick him the man the mark, I think we were home.
Yeah,
But that's the first time we hit the front after the siren.
it was.
Has that ever happened before? I don't know. I'll let
Yeah, it
the.
has. Frog sent it in to us yesterday. It's 4 times it's happened.
You did too.
And two of them was Barry Hall after the siren.
Yes.
So fun fact for you out there. But my man Cam going forward,
Played
people
really
wanted
well.
him dropped, and he
Played
changed the game. So
Play well.
bit of humble pie for a few of his haters out there this morning, I'd imagine, Chief.
I'd imagine he was very good, and the votes were pretty hard, weren't they?
Incredibly hard.
After the first two, and I think we're a bit different. Uh,
Yeah.
I gave my votes up immediately after the game, and then watched the replay and didn't change them.
Oh, that's
I'm
good.
happy where they sit on the first watch on the eye test.
Well, let's give a little rundown for our listeners. We're going to be going through the game, the good, the bad, the ugly, which will be a tale of two halves as the
Yeah,
game was yesterday. We'll do our votes. We've got the watch list, which will
yeah.
be interesting to get to.
Well, a little sneak peek. You wanted half the team on the watch list at half time.
But yeah, there was one in particular, and I'm going to give him his flowers because his second half was phenomenal
Yeah.
in Charlie Comben.
Yes.
But and then we've got plenty of listener questions to get through as
Yeah,
well.
well, that's a people's pod, and that's the best part of it. So let's go through it because I've watched it, but I haven't written many notes,
All right. Well, let's just
and
get
you've
it.
got none.
Took notes in the first half
Oh, did
because
you?
I was too shitty at
That'll be
halftime.
good. We'll go through. They were on the red pen, were they?
A lot of them were. I want to start by celebrating a performer and someone who I've hung just about as much shit on as any player at North Melbourne. And we've got to highlight his game yesterday. I thought he was phenomenal. Jacob
Oh,
Constanti, what a game from him yesterday.
fantastic! Played his role and got hit the scoreboard. And I've watched it again since. I don't think he missed a kick or a handball. His disposal was really good.
Do you know what sticks out the most for me with JK in his game at the moment?
Oh, he's tackling. Sorry.
That's where I'm going.
Oh,
You've
okay.
just stolen my soup.
Sorry.
The thing I love about his tackling though, once he wraps them up, so too often we see with North players, they'll get a little tackle and the handball
Yeah.
get out. You're not getting out of his
Nah, he
tackles.
hits him hard. Hits him at 100%, doesn't he? Full pace. Love it.
Let's talk.
And doesn't give away free kicks when he tackled them.
Yeah, more positives in the first half. We just couldn't defend, but the positive, old man JD, he's wound back the clock, hasn't he? He was clunking everything. How often this year have we seen a 1-on-2 go down the line and he just finds a way to win?
Yeah, his strong hands, strong body. He and JK and Jai kept us in it in the first half. If it wasn't for their first halves, it's too far to come back.
And there's some podcast that wants him rested for Whitlock. I don't know where you'd find that, but
I don't know.
that was us. That was me, actually, to be fair.
I think it was me as well.
Yeah, so what a season he's
He
had.
was good. He was good.
But let's talk about Jai. What a game from him.
Oh, another
A
one.
true four-quarter performance.
Yeah, probably the best four-quarter performer over it. Playing on that wing role, played it really well. Didn't miss a kick.
He sidesteps back.
Side steps back. Well, we always said one-on-one. No one you can sidestep anyone. And then his kicking was really good. He didn't turn it over. we always know he can have a loose kick every now and again, but not yesterday.
Not yesterday. He was brilliant and kept us in it, as you mentioned.
Kicked a goal as a winger.
I found it interesting that Adam Simpson calling our game yesterday. We love Simo, but was very critical of Jai the week before, saying he hadn't fired a shot all year, which I thought was harsh.
Well,
I think
well, I
Jai's
think it's
been
wrong.
good.
I'll
So
call
do I.
Simo out on that. I think it's wrong.
But what a way to respond yesterday.
Yeah, he was
Like,
fantastic.
have a bit of this, Simo. You watch me get 30 off the
Yeah.
wing and be our best player.
And of course, did it in remembrance of the late Phoenix Spicer. Got
Yeah.
his number on his boots, and his running. We'll probably get to Jai a bit later when we come to the most prestigious. But his running from contest to contest was really good. He'd get his disposal and he'd just burn up that wing and be another option. Quite often getting it back. Really good.
Yeah.
Not just get the disposal and then sit back and look at, that was pretty good.
Right.
He kept pushing.
I want to talk negative.
Right,
And,
well, let's go. Yep.
Charlie Combin's first half, he's taken the Aiden Core role of giving away free kicks for fun.
What's our whole back line? The keys in the back line love a little loose hand or a little give the umpire a chance to blow the whistle. And a lot of the times it's not necessary. A lot of the times it's very soft too, to be fair. But you got to learn. You got to play to the whistle and don't give them a chance to interfere.
No, I agree.
Yeah, and a couple of soft free kicks from the Chom.
But how hot the whistle early. Like, there was just free kicks. I think there was 12 in the first 10 minutes.
Not every week. It seems it's ridiculous.
Unless your name is M. Rao, which we'll touch on a bit later on in the show. But yeah, I thought Chom was horrific in the first half. And I said to you...
You want him on the watch list?
I did.
Well, there was going to be a bit of fight in this pod.
There was.
Because the watch list has got to be a series of performances.
Yeah, but he was poor against the Crows. He'd had a pretty stinky last couple of weeks. And then a shocking first half. And you watched your first half at your house.
Yes.
And then came over and watched it at mine.
Yes.
And that turned the tide big time.
It did.
Didn't it? But we had a bit of argy-bargy at halftime about some of the performance.
Well, neither of us were happy. Let's just put it that way. And then, yeah.
A bit of white line fever gets going too. When North...
It's a bit of aggro. None today, though.
None today. But let's give him his flowers because his second half, the Great Wall of Chom was back. He was plunking everything.
Yep.
His use, unreal. Like we've quite often said that he's a bit shaky by foot and a long down the line operator, but particularly in that last quarter when the switches were needed, he was kicking low darts, and that's the top end talent that he can be, Chom, in that second half. I mean, you're not going to play 4 quarters like that, but when the game was there to be won, when it was time to stand up, probably a bit of a spray at halftime, although Clarko was very calm.
He was very positive on the telecast at halftime. I thought we were watching a different game.
Well, remember...
And he was right in the end, wasn't he? Because he said everything, I'm paraphrasing, he basically said everything's there, but...
He said game's on a knife's edge.
On a knife's edge.
That's sitting there going, we're 38 points
down.
And we know Clarko's been an ambassador for medicinal marijuana. And I thought, has he gone and had, like, is he high? Like, what's he on about? But the great man, who we'll get to, spot on, as usual. Who am I to challenge him? But Chom, fantastic. Flogged Walter in the second half.
Yep.
Griffin Logue. What a game. What a game from him.
Great game.
Ben King's been kicking 3, 4, 5s for fun.
Yep.
Unsighted. He didn't take a mark for the game. He had 4 disposals and a goal, which was from a free kick, which was
soft free kick too.
It was one of those little hold him round the waist, which
it's barely a hold.
Seems to be a free kick unless your name's Nicholas Larkey.
He was looking straight at him, and the umpire's eyes on the ball. Well, you don't have to have your eyes on the ball. You just can't wrap him up and give a free kick away. And I don't think he barely touched him.
But Griff, he's very shaky ball in hand. He had a couple of turnovers where he nearly missed his foot. But defensively, giving away about 8 centimetres to Ben King, unreal game.
I marked him a few times early in the first quarter. Got it in front, took some good chest marks. Just read the play well. That's what we want.
Exactly. And I'll put my hand up. When I saw that matchup, I thought, what the hell are the coaching group doing? Because I thought Chom would have been the matchup for Ben King and then probably Logue for Walter. But you can't question it because it worked.
Walter's a competitor, so you need to put a competitor on him.
Yeah, right.
There you go. There's your answer.
All right.
Move on.
Let's talk Clarko. But some people have been saying whether he still got it. Like that's a lot of media-driven narrative, but during his best time at the Hawks, and you love bringing this up, what half time he'd change the game completely.
Yep.
He'd make multiple changes. I suppose some of the criticism this year, he hasn't really done a lot of that, or he's left it too late in the last quarter. But halftime, McKercher to halfback, Zerha to the forward line,
Massive move.
Trembath in the ruck for a lot more, and it just all.
And X started in the forward line.
Mm.
So then they'd swap straight after the jump ball because X was getting beaten because he can't jump as high as these other ruckmen.
I think
Trembanyana can.
I think that should be a full-time thing.
Well, it depends on your matchups, but yeah, it was good. It was a good move and a pivotal move to do that.
But
there were some others.
I've got some negatives.
PC had more midfield time too. That's
Yeah.
something you always call for, either him or Bull to go in there. PC got in there.
Well, I think at halftime, correct me if I'm wrong. I'm just going from memory here. He might have had like 2 disposals. Like he could not touch the pill.
PC.
Yeah. And then he had a massive second half.
Yeah.
As well as Zerha, and we'll talk about the last quarter in a bit with Finn Sullivan and George, but just the lift from some of our senior players and young guns was tremendous.
And we attacked the ball. Our ball movement was better. We hit that 30 to 45 kick, hit our targets. We used the corridor when we could. If we couldn't, we'd go quick round the boundary, and there'd be a lot of overlap run.
Yeah.
And Siffy Hardiman provides a lot of that. Jai provided a lot of that. Even
Siffy,
CD got his little legs pumping and got up and provided that. So I think if you watch, we'll go to Hardiman, Siffy, his ball use is really good, and that just gives us another level coming out of that back line, even though he didn't jump off the stats sheet. If you watch the highlights, he features quite heavily. So
particularly in the second half.
Yeah, just medium stats, but high impact.
Yeah, I thought he worked his way into the game really well, and often in that last quarter, you'd see a mark taken in the left pocket, a Simpkin or someone like that, and rather than kicking at 30 down the line, you get that release handball stiffy, you'd run 10, kick at 50. So
and then JD take a contested mark. It was awesome. Yeah, so they were the main changes, weren't they? Mm. And then we got the lift. We got the CCC says stuff this. You wanted them all on the watch list, pretty much.
Not all of them.
No, I'm putting a bit of mayo on it, but they lifted in the second half, didn't they? All of them. Foster was pretty consistent through the game.
He was.
So was Parker, except he had some dodgy moments by foot. But X, Chom, and George. X was phenomenal in that. Contested marks around the ground and forward to kick that goal in the last. Like they all lifted.
They certainly did.
We'll get to the last quarter.
Well, before we get there, we better talk about some negatives because we did find ourselves 43 points down in the second quarter.
Yeah, Waco. The centre clearances, they killed us. Goals from centre clearances against us were
was a piss take.
Atrocious.
Yeah.
It was like Adelaide. It was like the second quarter against Adelaide all over again.
And don't worry, I copped some feedback for saying on the preview pod that our midfield was better than theirs. But when you're uncompetitive in the ruck and they're just waltzing it out, it's a bit hard to show your strength. But I thought the midfield battle was interesting all day.
Well, we lost it. We were losing the taps. And we weren't, our midfield, the ground level midfielders weren't defensively minded.
No, too many missed tackles. I thought when we did transition the ball well to the forward half, we were just squandering so many opportunities, like the Simpkin handball where LDU fell over. Spargo had a poor inside 50 where he just butchered the ball. So many missed opportunities to try and peg it back a little bit, but that was all rectified in the second half. But I don't want to spend too long talking negatives because it's the best win easily this decade. And we want to highlight all the good, but I thought we can't do a review pod and then just pretend that we were up the whole game. We were up for 0-0-0-0.
We're up when it counted.
Exactly.
Baby. It's in the paper tomorrow.
Have you got anything that you want to bring up on a negative front?
No, I'm positive.
All right.
I'm glass half full.
Let's get to the last quarter then and some of the performances that we saw.
Well, highlighted by George. How fantastic was he? He was in everything. Old salt and pepper, wasn't he? He was in everything. And just contested beast. Ball use, good. Took the game on, good. Wasn't he?
It's one of the best individual quarters you'll see.
I think he had 13.
He had 13. I'll get the stats up in a sec, but you could
13
just see
in a quarter.
13! Him willing
He's hello when you need him. 13!
Willing himself from contest to contest. And you could just see he wanted it more than Gold Coast.
Yeah.
They fell into a trap of what we've done plenty of times as a footy club. Don't give me this Darwin bullshit. They had a 7 day.
They said 14 days in Darwin, which is fine, but they only played 2 games of football.
Yeah.
They made it sound like they played a game every day.
But they just went into their shells and went into game winning or protecting mode from 16 minutes out. And it was good to see. I watched Dimmer's press conference and he didn't use Darwin as an excuse.
No.
So good to see. But the way George wheeled himself from contest to contest, he was just hitting it like a ball. It was the amount of messages I got from mates who are neutral supporters, like they don't support either side, just amazed by his game. It just highlights the sort of player that he is.
Yeah, because he stands out because there's not many like that in the comp.
No, there's not. So his last quarter for you, Chief, he had 13 disposals, 5 score involvements, and 2 clearances. Look, he was massive.
Massive.
And 150 efforts, I reckon.
Yes, that's right. There's a lot of stuff that doesn't make the stat sheet that he does, just pressure. Then there's the implied pressure.
Yeah. Someone else who had a monster fourth quarter, and it was this duo that really ramped up. It was George and Foss, two guns who haven't played 50 games. 12 disposals, 6 score involvements, 3 tackles, and 2 clearances in a quarter for Finn O'Sullivan. And
for a 19-year-old.
He's just, I'm running out of ways to describe how good he is because he does all that. His ball use is elite. His defending's elite. His ability to step through traffic is probably second at the club, which is unfair to him because we've got the best in the comp, arguably, with LDU.
Yeah.
But he just continues to go from strength to strength.
Yeah, no, he was fantastic, and he can take the aggressive kick, or have the vision to see it, and then take it and hit it. So, yeah, massive game. I thought he was a really good four-quarter performer. Actually, I don't know what his stats say, but I thought to the eye test, he was one of our better four-quarter performers.
But I thought the whole team lifted. Like, there's no one you can single out in the last half that was poor. I think everyone contributed when they needed to. Like even someone like a Zane Dersma had quite a game. His kick to find LDU to tie it up, unreal.
Okay, there's nothing against Bull because I thought he had a really good game, but he was probably the easier option in the forward pocket, so it's the best of 50-50 shot. And then if you watch it, he fell over. So how north would have that been to kick it to him and he slips over and it's out of bounds or a turnover? But he picked the right spot, and LDU obviously worked hard and found space.
How confident were you when he was lining up? Not very. I'll answer for you because as good as he is, he has.
I thought he was close enough that obviously we thought he should kick it, but it wasn't like it was Larky or someone having a shot from 25 out.
Yeah.
There was a little bit of nervousness, but I think that was just more the game situation, and we desperately needed it, and then he straight through the middle.
Love it.
Yep, love it. 55 seconds, the best 55 seconds of football, they said on the commentary.
Yeah.
To come after. And we again lost the centre bounce. There was some really good pressure from all the midfield, the ground level midfield crew. Good pressure to force a hack kick at the end by Petrarca. There were a couple of forced handballs, pressured handballs, and then didn't get a mention on the commentary, but didn't go past me. Elmac saved the day. Got the ground ball. There was a lot of pressure around it, and a couple of people didn't get it up clean. He got it up clean and then got it out to George. That won us a game.
Before we get to that last sequence, let's spend a bit of time on him because there's a comment coming up that it was redemption day for the Whipping Boys with JK Jai. We've mentioned Caleb Daniel. We'll touch on in a minute, but I thought Lou McDonald was brilliant yesterday. He took a few intercept marks, was sound defensively, and then that moment, which won't get the focus as much as the switch.
Well, the commentators didn't even mention his name in it. I mean, it's all happening, and there are missed some things, but that was pivotal, what he did.
And
he beat Humphrey.
That was my next point.
Humphrey's, well he's going to be $1.5 million man because every club in Melbourne wants him, and he's contracted. But I don't want him after that performance. I mean, I thought Elmac beat him. And he was a bit unlucky with that, holding the ball on Petrarca or holding the man.
Yeah.
That was late in the quarter.
We'll get to the umpiring.
Or in the fourth quarter. Yeah.
The umpiring was horrific all day, as bad as I've seen, just about.
Yes.
But Caleb Daniel as well. I thought he got up the ground a little bit more in the second half,
Yeah.
didn't he? And we saw him delivering inside 50, hitting up in between the arcs as well. And
He took some really aggressive and good 45, 40-meter kicks on the 45.
he and Parker as well.
Well, that last kick, whose goal that set up? When he took it, he kicked a Foss, I think, in the middle, and there were about 4 around him, and we'd seen him being intercepted in the first quarter, attempting probably an easier kick.
Parker, that is.
Yeah, Parker, but he laced it out, and then Foss the handball to the runners, and we're away. I think that was a Larky goal, or it was a Spargo goal.
Oh,
where
the handball from Larky.
Silv's handball. I thought that's so North Melbourne to stuff up a bloody walking goal or a shot from the pocket, which he's not going to miss.
Credit to Spargo.
I think he's hit the top of the ball when he's handball, so he's got to and credit to Spargo to be clean and snap the goal.
Composed enough and not panic.
Yeah.
Going back to your left.
I thought, how are we stuffing this up? But anyway, all worked out in the end. But
yeah, the switch
wasn't the best handball in the world. Don't go on the footy show for the handball competition because that's Tony Jones' area. But he said for anyone who's seen those replays, which they bring up, because
TJ, big chompers.
Yeah.
But the switch to Harry, fantastic, and his work rate, another great game. I've got to be really conscious now to not forget to highlight how good he is, because you see 32 on the stat sheet at 85% or whatever it was, and you just go, "That's Harry," but we've become a bit numb as a fan base at appreciating just how good this kid is. And another consistent, I think he and Jai were probably the most consistent players across the 4 quarters in the midfield. And another great game from him, good use. And then Zerha gets the free, and North fans
they actually blew the whistle for Northway.
I don't know what the crowd was, but it sounded.
I think it said 16.
Oh, that's pretty good. That's better than what it looked on telly, I think.
Yeah.
But late in the game, the noise coming out of there, it reminded me of when we were at the game. Well, we mentioned this a fair bit on the pod, but against the D's at the G, where there was probably 18,000, and it was as loud as you'll hear.
Yeah.
But the noise coming out was fantastic. Zerha, the siren goes, and you're thinking, as long as you don't try and kick it 90 and come off the side of your boot, or
get too close to the man of the mark, or just had to score, and he slotted it.
He slotted it
in the middle.
And I love post game. What was going through your head? Not much. Which is a good thing, I suppose. But the celebrations afterwards was fantastic, and seeing all the comments, all the North fans, people in tears. It was just an unbelievable comeback.
So good to come back. We haven't seen that, have we? When we actually get up to win, we've actually been on the receiving end of it too often in the last 6 years, haven't we?
Yeah.
Or you can probably go back to Brad Scotty, or
having every second week,
having a lot under Brad.
But
we're a more senior team under Brad, but the young boys led by George weren't going to lose that in the last quarter, and just kept going because they kicked. I mean, the Hewlin goal was
kicked out of his ass.
Well, it was class. Whether it was good, and I think there should have been a free kick to us just prior to that.
It was probably Matt Rouse just getting that 720, throwing it out.
It probably was, but they got it on the outside, and he was good enough to finish. And then was it Long kick one from round the 50? Like they kept.
They wouldn't bloody miss, would they?
Yeah, they kept it at that 20 sort of point margin for a while, but then we broke them in the end.
The resilience of the group, though. Like, how easy would it be? You're coming back, they're coming back, oh, well, we had a crack, and then you lose by 8 goals. But the resilience of the group to get it done. And also, we've seen in the past where we've come home late, no, you lose by 14 or something. But to get that's going to be a circuit breaker for this side. Going into the bye, get down to Clarko's farm, have a couple of frothies. I reckon they would have last night. But just, that's what we needed. We needed that scalp. We got it against a really good side.
Yep.
That
high in talent side. I think I'd picked to be pre-season in the grand final. So they were high in talent. They haven't probably played to what they'd expect, or the AFL generally expected this year so far. And there probably was a little bit of Darwin fatigue, a little bit, but we forced him into error.
Yeah. Like
that last kick from Petrarca, where Chom was back shoulder. Before the pressure's on the kicker, they normally kick it too high and too long, and Chom used his body beautifully. No grabs there. No. Just read the ball, back shoulder mark, went straight away to Harry. Had worked hard to make space.
His intercept marking was
second half. Ridiculous. That's what we want. Yeah, just go the ball. Don't worry about grabbing him around the waist or the shoulder. Just mark it or put a big fist into it.
Yeah.
Anyway.
But then the scenes after the game, I sent you a thing this morning on Triple M.
Oh, that was good.
JB looked like he was about to cry. Like
Yeah.
he let Al Nicholson call the last minute because he was genuinely emotional in the
Yeah.
face. And the Chew Man, who's the stats guy for Triple M, big
Is he a
North
North?
Nuffy,
Is he? Yeah, I thought he
was
must
up
have
and
been
about.
because yeah.
The big thing is he fires up the spa when North wins. So there's lots of comments. Mrs. Chew, fire up the spa.
No, he was very excited, and even the neutrals, Kate McCarthy and Isaac Smith, they were all smiling. They were just so happy, weren't
Well,
they?
Smith would have in bit of invested interest in North,
Yeah.
with Clarko being his former coach.
Yeah, exactly.
But yeah, magnificent.
It was right. You finished on the game,
I believe so.
right?
No doubt there'll be more to come. But
Well,
let's get to the next.
we'll talk. Well, Bull was interviewed after the game, and I love this because he was asked by who's the ex-Hawthorn bloke on the boundary?
Ben Dixon.
He was asked by Ben Dixon about the moves Clarko made at half time, and we've gone through them. And he just said, yeah, Clarko played his role. I love it. He should have ladded him as well.
Yeah.
The lad played his role. But yeah, and then he said he was a great coach and stuff. But that's the role we want from Clarko, to make the moves.
That's why he's on the big cash.
That's why we were critical in the second quarter last week, where he didn't seem to make any moves and wanted half time to come. He can make them during the game. Clearly he made these at half time, but yeah, so I thought that was really good. And then Clarko's presser. Can we talk about that?
I haven't watched it yet, so please.
Well, let's hope the AFL don't watch it.
Oh no.
He was asked about 3 times about the umpiring, and he mentioned without prompting that there were certain things we can't control.
He said that at half time as well.
Yeah, and then he said again in the presser, and then he said, Matt Rao had some very interesting disposals. So I think he went as close to the line as he can without copping a $20,000 fine. I don't know. And the AFL is down on fines this year, I think, from the players with the gut punches and stuff, because they're getting suspended now. So the AFL are probably looking for a bit of, and they gave up all the Pendles merch.
Yeah.
It's all going straight to Pendles. So they're probably looking for a bit of a cashy.
They'll have a junket coming up to the Super Bowl soon.
Oh, yeah. Or the World Cup, the Soccer World Cup. They want to go and look at that on the AFL money.
But before we get to the Basti,
yep,
boner time. Oh, the amount of messages I got about boner time yesterday.
Did it come up?
I hope it did.
They fired up, weren't they, in the last quarter? And if there was ever a time at Marvel to put it's boner time, it was in that halfway through that last quarter.
Brilliant.
Maybe the players were just thinking about it.
Yeah, they've been listening during the week, and they knew.
Yeah,
they all knew.
Love it. Yeah, we love the interaction with our loyal listeners.
Yeah, right. Out to Jack, who was the one who first sent that, and it's caught on.
Yeah, well, it wasn't our idea.
No. Give credit where it's due.
Yeah, exactly. Well done. Right, now it's time for the most prestigious award in all of the AFL, the Basti. You can go first.
I was going to give you the new
one. All right, I'll take it. You don't have to ask me twice. I go 5 to Jai. I thought he was sensational. Running up that wing, made it his own. True 4-quarter performance. Well, as you mentioned, I watched it on my own at first half, went to your house and changed the fortune of the game.
Come from the start.
And I said to you at half time, when we probably weren't as joyful as we are now, but I said Jai's clearly best on ground at half time, and he continued, as I said, 4-quarter performance. I go 4 to JD, Jack Darling, like the old man, 3 goals, 1, a target all day up forward, clunked his marks. And it's a hard position. You're not going to light up the stat sheet as a centre-half forward, but he did really well, I thought. And I don't think if it was for him and another one who's going to get in the votes, we wouldn't have been in it at half-time. Close enough. He steadied the ship, didn't he? Gave us a target and finished. I go 3 to Feist. I thought he was our best midfielder on the day. He obviously had a defensive role as well. And I just thought he's really good for a 20-year-old. Just good decision maker, untackleable, very good. I don't even know what his stats were. I gave 2 to LDU. I thought he was very good as well. Steps through. His kicking was good.
It was.
And he changed angles with his kicking well. Obviously kicked that clutch goal, which gave us a chance to win it. If he kicks it, if that's the point, we probably don't win.
Oh, we don't.
No
doubt about it.
Well done. Worked hard to make the space, and then most importantly, finished. How many times have we seen someone just let us down with kicking a point from that situation? So that was excellent. And yeah, I thought he tried hard, but our midfield was badly beaten at times out of the centre jump ball. Uh, and I gave one to the ultimate role player. He's been rewarded. This wouldn't have been on your bingo ticket or mine that he was getting votes in the Bassi, but Jacob Costanti, fantastic. Played on their Rioli and probably had time on the other one.
Noble.
I think Spargo between the two of them. They took care of them.
Noble had his worst game of nearly his time at the Suns.
Yes. And they both, I'll shout out to Charlie Spargo on this too, because he did a good role on the other half back, which is we were worried about. How are we going to contain their spring off half back? But it became a centre bounce clearance game for scoring, didn't it? They didn't not get any bounce off half back. And equally, if not more importantly, he hit the scoreboard. Another one, 2 goals in the first half? Oh, no, one in the third where Big X was not paid the mark. Oh. I mean, come on. Hey, you think the toys were thrown out of the cot. That was horrendous umpiring. But quick handball release to JK and snap, and he got it. Both his goals were snaps, weren't they?
Both good finishes. One was on his left.
One was a crumb. Well, outside the right, maybe. Yeah. Maybe I would have to watch it again for the third time. I will be watching it again.
I reckon I might watch this game 10 times.
Yeah, so JK, great role. Played his role to perfection and then had scoreboard impact as well. And as I mentioned earlier, he's kicking. I don't think he missed a target the whole game.
No,
I don't think he did.
I'm with
you. So, well done, lad.
Yeah, well, I'll go through mine and then we'll go through because it's the hardest, one of the hardest weeks to vote.
I've got lots of unluckies, but we'll go through them.
I'm in agreement with you. I thought Jai Simpkin was our best player on the day, so I gave him 5 votes. What a performance from him! I probably should get his stats up, but
he had about 29. I think I had looks post game.
Kicked a goal. That good goal. He kicked a goal on his left. He's such a better kick on his left. It's ridiculous. So yeah, Jai was everywhere. 4 votes I gave to the most taxed man in. He's taxed more than billionaires.
Yeah.
Well, they don't get taxed, do they?
Well, Albo's getting he's changed the tax rules, so he's probably getting even more tax now.
So I go 4 votes to Harry Sheasel. Thought 4-quarter performance from him. Loving his tackling. He had 6 tackles. You're not breaking his tackles either. He's worked a lot on that as well. It's gone under the radar. 32 disposals from Harry at 84%. With 11 score involvements. So
wow,
just a typical Harry game.
Yep.
3 votes I gave to Jack Darling. I agree a lot with you. He kept us in it early, and kicking the goals too. Like you can often get unrewarded. They weren't straight in front. They were in that sort of hard spot where it can fade across for a right footer. 3 goals, 7 marks, and was just a target for us all day. 2 votes I gave.
He was our best forward.
He was.
Followed closely by JK.
Exactly wrong. No arguments here. 2 votes I gave to Finn O'Sullivan, that last quarter particularly, but he had 26 disposals, 6 tackles for the day, and did reasonably well. I don't think Petrarca, although he had 28, I don't think he was explosive.
No.
Even when they were really on top. So I thought he limited him quite well as well as getting his own footy. And unfortunately, I really wanted to get JK in, but unfortunately, I've given 1 vote to a man who deserves it, let's be honest. 30 disposals, 1 goal and 8 tackles in Luke Davies-Uniacke, who is stiff to just get 1, but there were so many players to try and fit in.
And we try not to make it a midfielder's medal. And the midfield battle, I don't think there was probably a clear winner on the ground, was there? They all had their moments, didn't they? Matt Rowell had plenty of moments.
Yeah.
Which we got away with.
Griffin Logue really...
Griff Logue. I had him in the votes at half time. He had 1 bad moment, but to keep King to 1 goal, and that was from a very soft free kick. I thought he was good. And as I said earlier, he came off his man a couple of times and intercepted. Chom for his second half was awesome. George Wardlaw, without his last quarter, we don't win. It's as simple as that. Who else? There's probably a couple of others. I thought Big X's second half was good, but I mean...
Not that he was close to the votes, but I thought Trembath changed the game.
Yeah.
He lifted and was really significant in the second half.
Yeah.
PC and Zerha.
PC, that loose ball where he came from about 3 deep and just got a thigh on it and kept the ball going forward. Then Trembath got it and got the handball out. That should have been a ground ball get to them and end up being a shot at goal or maybe a goal for us.
And
So that's just so 1%ers.
It is.
And I said to you at half time, and I said to myself in the TV, I was watching on my own 100 times in the first quarter, where were the 1%ers? Where was the effort? Where was the attempt to smother?
Jeez, we came
Where
out
was the
flat.
chase? Oh, it was so flat.
One more. I want
But
to.
we turned around.
We
That's
did.
a sign of a maturing team.
One more player I want to highlight that was close or in the conversation. Caleb Daniel.
Oh, yeah, yeah. Sort of his ball just was. And Elmac.
Yeah,
They beat Humphrey.
he did. Parker as well. Like,
Parker,
there was
yeah.
to choose from.
Which is a very good team effort, particularly after half time.
Yeah.
My votes for the blokes are probably more four-quarter
Yeah.
players. And Harry was very unlucky in mine, like extreme.
I'm just glad you got JK in.
I hope he's got a lot of deductions for come tax time so he can get a big tax refund at some stage.
I've been at junior footy all morning, so I haven't had a chance to update the leaderboard. But
Yep.
stay tuned on the socials, and you'll see during the week.
And you're wearing your full North kit to the junior footy.
Oh yeah,
Best would have been
best
out.
was right out. It was real Baz's swag. I mean,
I love it. Love it. Right, we'll get to the list that no one wants to be on, the watch list. And I'm pleased to say no one is going on.
Nope,
So I'll quickly run. Oh, the seconds one,
they did.
the VFLW, back to back defending.
Oh, that's just
They're still winning. Bailey Scott. I've only watched the highlights, so I'm not going to comment on their full game, and I haven't really looked up the stats. But he's still on the watch list and still playing twos. Griff Lowe gets a massive.
Hang on. Got a question here from Byron Tennysaw. If Lowe can get on the watch list after one bad game, can he get off after one spectacular game? Because he flogged Ben King. That's what Byron's asked you, Chief.
Well,
because he was unlucky.
It was unlucky to go on, and we were very disappointed and probably a little bit emotional. But he's been a regular on the watch list, so he went on. He got off and went on back on the next week, which is probably in retrospect unfair. Do you think?
Yeah.
So he's played a magnificent game, almost in the votes. If we voted to 10, he'd have been in.
Yep.
So I think that's a fair comment.
So I think we should.
We don't change rules on the run, but we probably were a bit too early to fire the shotgun.
We were.
The shotgun.
I think if you can keep
the shotgun. Thank you.
I think if you can keep the Coleman medal favourite, who's kicking goals for fun, to 1 goal, 4 disposals, 0 mark.
He's off.
Giving away 8 centimetres.
Yep, I love it. He's off.
Well done,
he gets a massive tick, and he's now off. So let's put a line through him, and hopefully we've got a week's buy. And when we go over to Freo, and I'll be there, I'll be watching.
You'll be able to hand delivery certificate.
Yeah, I might. He gets 2. He's double diploma.
Yeah. Please don't come back for a third.
No. Aiden Core's still on, but reportedly played quite well in the twos. Zach Fisher played very well. I think he was best on.
Won us the game. Kicked 2 in the last quarter.
In the twos. JK gets a massive tick. Almost a double tick, but we don't change the rules. But that's a massive tick. North Lawyers.
Never, ever, ever are you getting off?
CCJ's playing twos. Tom Powell is, of course, injured. The forward system. I'll give them a dash.
A dash?
What do you want to give them?
I think if you kick 100 against the Suns, we've got a pretty good.
Oh, yeah, they do have layers.
Well, we haven't mentioned yet, but in the votes at half time for North was Sam Collins, because I think we thought he was our full forward.
Well, that's why.
Kept lacing him out.
Well, that's why the forward system.
Yeah, I think Dash is probably.
Yeah, that's why.
All right, I'll cop that.
But we did kick over 100, but then I think when we lowered our eyes, when the game broke open in the last, obviously it's easier, and it was really good. So not quite a tick. Nick Larkey, I'm going to give him a dash. What say you? He kicked 2, didn't
he? He kicked 2.
Didn't kick any points, so kicked the 2 he had to. He
tried to lose us the game.
That handball was terrible.
Can we talk about?
But it was there to give, but it was just a skill error. But we did butter up and get a goal.
Can we talk about when he tried to take the advantage and then dropped it and then BC kicked it sideways?
I forgot about it. We should have mentioned that in the last quarter, because thank God the umpire, because if you watch it on replay without the stress and the red mist and everything, the umpire was going to give the advantage, and then just before PC had his air swipe, he blew time on. No, it's coming back. But you explain it. what happened for those. I'm sure everyone's over it.
Yeah, well, I don't think we need. I
Oh,
can't.
well, Larky could. The ball was bouncing up here and he couldn't grab it.
Nah.
And he had another moment with the handball from Cam about a minute earlier where.
No, he span out quite well. I thought he did all right then. He got it back to.
Yeah, yeah. It took him a half a second longer than I'd like to pick it up.
Oh, he's a key forward.
Yeah,
I think
okay.
you're being a bit
Well,
unrealistic.
probably am.
I think a dash is probably fair. I don't think he was.
Well, Collins was best on probably
Yeah.
half time because he just kept leading off. Larky obviously wasn't getting in dangerous, usable spots. So Collins would say, well, stuff you, you're not getting it. I'll go and intercept Mark. And he did that for fun. Well, he was on world record pace, they kept mentioning in the commentary.
But Larky took some really strong mark.
He did.
And once we
That's why he gets a dash.
once we started lowering our eyes and actually kicked it in flat to him and not sit it on his head.
A dash isn't bad. Well, it's sort of play your role, isn't it? But too many intercept marks to give him a tick.
Right.
If he cleans that up, gets in more dangerous positions to be used, because he's 80 metres from the kicker. They can't use him. No one can kick that far.
I've got a
Unless they bring Sausage George in. He might be able to make it.
Yeah.
He kicked 70. So
Stiffy's not far behind. Before we move off the watch list, we've got.
are you happy with that? A dash?
Yeah.
I know he's one of your favourites.
It's your segment.
One of my
I
favourites.
think it's touch and go. So
yeah,
I'm happy to go
50.
your segment. You're the final call. That's fair.
Okay.
Andy and Jackson Hamill Beach have both said a KO eligible for the watch list because cutting our dedicated game feed to a live shot of Pendles warming up 8 seconds after the siren is diabolical.
They're on.
Well, they can go on for charging $46 a month for a shit.
Yeah,
service
so
as well.
we've got that. So, yes. And they've been cutting in and out, haven't they?
Yeah.
At some places.
Yeah. And then the fact that Pendlebury was eating a sandwich like 15 seconds after our come from behind miraculous best win in 12 years.
And in the pre-game, North's pre-game, when they're in the rooms, they're cutting to him walking into the ground and people lording over him.
Oh.
They didn't need to do that in the pre-game. He's had plenty.
He had a dedicated freaking channel to himself. Why do we need if you're that invested, turn that on?
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, I agree. Well done, Jacko and Andy. I'm fully with you. Let's get into the listener questions. Best part of the pod. I've got just tapped you in the sternum. That's probably 3 weeks now.
Throwing my head back like bloody little wizard or someone.
Oh, Matt
Rao.
And Nicholas Pascoe starts with one of my favourite sayings. How good's footy?
Yeah, how good is
footy?
And we say that all the time because fellow Tasmanian, Brendan Bolton, used to say it when he was assistant coach at Hawthorn.
No, he was the caretaker, wasn't he?
Well, he was caretaker, yeah. When
Didn't he have a couple of weeks off? Did he go off? Does anyone remember?
Was it a heart murmur or something?
Yeah, he had a couple of weeks off.
But he said, how good's footy? Well, you're coaching the best team in it. It's bloody easy. It wasn't so easy at Carlton.
Then he went to Carlton.
Then he talked about grassroots, green shoots.
Oh, dear.
Anyway, that's how good's footy. You got to get your voice up a little bit.
Yeah. How good's footy, guys?
Yeah.
Calvin says, how much does George playing well lift this side? The manic pressure, great to see him showing composure and high skill level as well. Big leap today from him.
Yeah, well, not so good in the first half, but led us to victory in the second.
Dan says, a lot of errors by the umps, but who cares? We beat the Suns and their extra players.
Yeah, I think
before in green.
We can just let that go. Everyone knows what we're talking about. What they're talking about.
Man says, I've been critical of Constantia, wanted him cut, but today it was the best game I've seen him play. Kicked a couple of goals and his tackling was great. Forwards must be able to kick goals and have craft.
Yep, I totally agree, and that's why he's in the votes. And that last tackle in the last quarter where they were springing off half back, that's his role, isn't it? Just
I joke
mashing tackle.
I joke to you, and I'll preface this before people get serious. It's a joke. But 2 years isn't enough, Brady. Tassie will be coming for a week to give him another 5.
We were questioning the 2 years last pod, so we can change pretty quick.
Yeah.
But he was good, and that's what we've been waiting for. Just higher possession game for him too. I think he had 12, and they're all effective as far as my eye test is concerned. Don't know what the stats are.
6 tackles as well.
Yeah, that's and then 2 goals. And a couple of scoring. I mean, Zane he hit up, so they've probably had more than just that scoring involvement for him. On the contested mark before.
Oh, that's right. Yeah.
Key forward.
He had a great game.
Had to pay him like a key forward now.
Mitch says, unreal. What a response to last week. Day of the underdog, whipping boys, Darling, Simpkin, Daniel, and JK all deserving of votes. Did you boys also wonder what Clarko was smoking at halftime when he said the game was on a knife's edge when we were 40 down?
That medicinal cannabis might have a bit of the others, the THC in it.
Stephen James says, stuff Wharfie time. It was boner time the last 2 minutes.
Absolutely.
Still boner time now. Yeah, very excited.
Going back to Clay, he was right. Obviously, all his metrics were working. It's just their centre clearance dominance or goals from centre clearance was hurting us.
Yep. Adam Molyneux, thank you. Question: When is
I think it's Molyneux.
When is holding the ball not holding the ball? Answer: when we are the tacklers. Oh, the frustration from the North crowd as well. Really,
you could hear it
on the TV.
For those who were at the game and haven't watched the replay yet, Adam Shimbona Simpson asked Jared, what do you think of the umpiring? Obviously, a bit of a loaded question.
It was definitely a loaded
question. And Jared, no, seems fine. Well, because he's a big North hater, and he's, that's normal. Just a free kick against North. No free kick when North deserve one.
Yeah, I agree. Another complaint here from Bo that I think is very good. Sick of our club being disrespected. Both North and the Suns should lodge a complaint that halftime and full time of our game were hijacked by another club's player. All credit to him for surpassing Boomer, but when North's on and I can't attend, I want the broadcast to be talking about my mob, not another. Their game didn't even start for another 30 minutes after ours, and they couldn't give us a couple of extra.
Well, they're on the watch list.
Yeah. But I think the AFL, well, there should be always explained for that as well.
Well, I think the broadcasters have got the right to broadcast whatever they want. There's probably a contract that they have to show the game, but they could. I mean, how often does Seven, the main broadcaster, just cut straight to the news?
Yeah. No, but that's not that soon after.
Usually. Sometimes it is when they start the game at 3:20 on a Sunday, and obviously it was always going to run into all you needed was one stretcher or delay, and it was always going past 6.
Yeah. All right, let's fire through some more of these questions. Love them. Thanks to everyone who did. Another time where we've had over 100 sending in across the platforms. So thank you guys. Kelsey Allen says, is this a better comeback than Carlton? My dad was so proud at the game, he cried. Go Roos.
Yeah, go. I like it.
Was it a better comeback? I think.
Than Carlton.
It has to be.
Oh, yeah.
Carlton, because it happens to them every week. So it's a bit of the
Giants
worn off that.
The Suns are a much better team.
LD says the win we were looking for this season. It's a season changer. X, LDU, Shees, Foss, all elite. Agree. Now, there was a comment on the latest YouTube where I was called mental for saying, A, we could beat the Suns, and B, that we could be a chance for the wild card if we win it.
Yep.
Well, I'm pretty happy with how that's aged.
Yeah, you're keeping that receipt?
I'll keep that receipt.
Okay.
To that gentleman who left that. Obviously, wildcard's still a fair way away. But what yesterday highlighted was that our best is good enough to match it with the top side.
If we put that together in 4 quarters, we're going to be very hard to beat against anyone.
We're very hard to beat as it is, but you're right. If we can play,
but we've got to do that against these second up, lower ranked teams, similar ranked teams and lower ranked. That's why the GWS really hurts. The Adelaide really hurts. Because we could have done against them.
Yeah. Kate's _ postcards. Dersma was massive in the last with his run. Ignored a dozen times, but just kept at it. And that was someone who was at the game. So obviously, great feedback that he's working. I think he's some of the queries on him was his work rate, but that's definitely lifted this year, and he's getting the reward for it.
Yeah.
Not all the time, not as much as he probably should. From my experience at the games as well, he gets ignored a little bit, but. Repeat efforts, and he was there when the chips.
He gets ignored because we just bomb it in long without a lot of thought, far too often.
I'm with you. Miss Pummelhorse says Zerha never to breach the back 50 again.
No, I don't agree with that. I think he was been good in the back 50.
All right. Hands Oval in a fortnight's time. You'll be there.
Yep.
If you're Clarko, where are you playing him?
Well, what are the matchups? It's hard for me without knowing who Freo are.
I think you can compare the fall off from Trembath and the forward line to when Zerha left. We looked so much more dangerous with him down there, I think, yesterday.
All right, well, we'll see. You're obviously in the Zerha forward.
I'd leave him in the forward line.
Pretty much to be a swagger man, you've got to be a forward.
Yeah, look, we don't.
Well, I think Colby's been really good as that high half forward. He's replaced him replaced him. Zaha was very good yesterday, I must say, but he only up there for half a game. Maybe catches them out a bit with some matchups. They're a smaller back line, aren't they? They got the running backs.
They're more suited for a player of his type, though.
Yeah, well, you can.
So you'd like him as just a swing man, starting the back line, and the game.
I think he's been. I think he's been okay in the back line.
So do I.
Yeah, so I'm not in a rush to get him out. It depends on. I think we can be a bit slow in the forward line if we've got him and Trembath and Larky. I mean, how many rundown tackles does Larky get? How many Zerha get? There you go. That's something we can think about.
Leave it with us.
You can't leave it all up to JK. You can't run down and chase everyone.
No, that's
if
right.
he just has his man to worry about, he'll do the job. Everyone's got to do that job.
Yeah.
PC will do it. JK will do it. I think Spargo will do it. Like
Darling will do it.
Yeah, he'll do it within his limitations of he's not the quickest. That's another one. So we get a bit slow up there. Although I will say Zerha he got his head knocked off by a knee, no free kick. Then it came back in shortly after and he flew for a mark and he actually got the ground ball from the mark. So he was awesome. When he switched on, he can do it.
Andy_Duels says, was that the game live? And I have two questions. One, how do you rate LDU's game? And two, was the umpiring as bad as it felt?
Yes.
Yes for the second question. And
LDU was good. He was in our votes.
He was brilliant.
You can probably argue the order to some degree. But we don't. I thought he was good.
I'm with you. 100%.
He's very explosive. He side steps back. His kicking was better, wasn't it? Like looking for that. It's been pretty good all year, but looking for that short dart, 30-metre inboard kick a couple of times, which broke the game open.
Well, we've got at least 6 of the same questions here that's saying F. Jared Healy, North Ball baby. Jared Healy never coming off the watch list along with the North Lawyers.
Yeah. I struggle to listen to Jared.
He's so anti-North, it's ridiculous. Hemmers says,
and then he had the gall to say, I think we'd Harry been stiff with a holding the ball decision. George had one where he was running free, but then the bloke landed square on his back and it was holding the ball. Not LDU had one where he clearly handballed it and he was called holding the ball. They had a lot of throws. And then I think Rao finally got caught holding the ball, or one of them might have been Anderson. And he has the goal to say, did he have pride? He's got one eye.
He does. Noah Idea says, was that one of Jai's best games for us? He was absolutely everywhere.
Well, 10 votes and the most prestigious answers that.
I don't know. He's
my best game ever. Well, it'd be hard. He had one against West Coast where he kicked 3. That was as a midfielder though, wasn't it? That wing role is very specialised, and I think who was even on him?
Probably Closey or something like that.
Like ineffective.
No one, basically.
Yeah. Well, and
Dimmo was probably asking
work rate from getting the ball and then kicking it and working to the next contest. But if he didn't get it, then he kept running forward down that out the corridor.
And his use was good, fantastic. But it was one of his best games on the wing, and
yeah,
I'm just glad.
He was pretty composed. There were no dump kicks. If he was under pressure, he'd either release a handball or use his jai step to get round and then hit a good kick.
I'm just so glad that the club didn't give in to a shit second rounder and give him to Collingwood, because he was.
I think it was a second rounder in Tassie, like when Tassie came in. So it would have been effectively a third rounder with all their picks.
I love the way that they wrapped their arms around him, and he's rewarding the club with some fantastic footy.
Yeah.
And I'm a bit disappointed with the way some of the supporters have turned on him, but it seems that it's coming back now and that people are forgiving him, because it's a business at the end of the day, and we love Jai.
Yep.
And he's playing some fantastic footy at the moment.
Yep. He'd be right up there in the best and fairest.
I reckon he would. Kelsey says, is this Constantine's potential? We've seen great progress in his attacking since time in the VFL. Well, that shows exactly why it's beneficial sometimes to send players back to the twos, work on different parts of their game.
Exactly. That's why you want a strong senior team, where if you're not performing, you can be dropped to the twos because there's someone to come in and replace you.
Dave's also made
It's like Hardiman.
Yeah.
Like he came in, we've been calling for 6 weeks pretty much, or I know he was injured early, but at least the last 3 weeks, screaming for him to come in, and he played a very good role.
Dave also highlighted how good Jai's kicking inside 50 was.
Yep.
Jeez, he lowered his
He
eyes
did.
really well.
He's one of the he did. That's a good point.
Lopez's movies, who says you're in an NFL fantasy league with Lopez, and he's probably got you
covered.
Looking, well, he's got you in his sights to beat, I reckon.
Okay,
anyway, his question is: a blank check, give Foster pen and paper, and let him write his price.
Yeah, absolutely.
And he's also put, nice to see the big Tremboner find some form in the last.
Yep. It's a hard position to play when you're just flying for long bombs, isn't it?
That is.
Like you go out to the schoolyard at lunchtime and it's just pack to pack. If you take two, you're doing really well, aren't you?
Yep. Hammers says, great wall of Chomothy. The boys deserve their dues today.
Absolutely. Chom, didn't it? We almost came to fair dinkum blows at half time.
It was heated.
He gives away 2 free kicks and you're ready to...
Well, he had 3 kicked on him in the first half, and he had a stinker against the Crows.
Yeah, he's playing on a fairly handy player in Walter, who I'd love North to go after, but I reckon he'll end up at the Pies or somewhere like that.
Now, I want to make this clear. I came hard for Chom because I rate him what he can do.
Yeah.
That second half highlighted how good he can be, and I just think he's been poor the last 6 to 8 quarters.
He's got votes in the Bassie, but he was poor in the onslaught where everyone was poor against Adelaide, and he just gives away too many silly free kicks, which are sort of 50-50s, but the umpire always blows the whistle against him.
Yeah.
You agree?
Yeah.
I think that goes on the coaching. What do they do on Monday to Friday to try and teach him how to either get away with it or not do it? Because he's 199 centimetres. He's got a good leap. He can jump over most of them, and he's got a great set of jukes.
Yep. Ben says, Baz Chieftain, in the spirit of Jared, I'd throw him into the ruck Healy. Does Godey get a debut soon? Trembath has shown these high-leaping, agile tools are better in the centre square clearance-wise, but they'll want to protect him, so wonder if they try Goad soon. What do you think?
Well, Goad doesn't seem to be a high-leaping type to me. When I've seen him in the VFL, his ruck craft is not up to AFL standard yet, in my opinion. I think he plays behind at the boundary throw-ins too much. He doesn't get his first hand on the ball in the centre jump ball, because I don't think, even though he's 207, he hasn't got the leap. He might be. He's only 20 or something, isn't he?
Yeah.
So I'm not giving up on him by any chance, and they may give him a go, but they're playing him more forward in the VFL.
It seems like CCJ is the main ruck.
The main ruck. He's getting ruck time, but I think that's the strength of Bo needs. He kicked 2.
Yes, he did.
So if he can bring that to the AFL, but I think we're still live. Clarko's going to play. He's not going to trial anyone unless they're up to it, and that's what we want.
Competition and earning your spot.
Earning your spot. Knock it down in the VFL. Having said all that, I wanted him to come in instead of CCJ when X was out suspended. So I think he's next in, but we don't want X going out. We see how poor we can be when we haven't got him playing for us.
Exactly right. George Wardlaw's pet possum. Did anyone else think of Austin Powers and the Big Chieftain during boner time during the last 2 minutes? He's always got something funny, the cactus. What else we got here? Logan says, can we start a petition for Jai to only kick using his left foot? How elite was it today?
It was very good, but his right was good as well.
Chris says, hold some of our Twitter fans to account. I read some absolute tripe during the week. Personal attacks, no selection integrity, dropped multiple players, Clarko's lost it, blah, blah, blah. Yeah, I tend to try and ignore a lot of the...
Easiest thing in the world is to be a keyboard warrior.
Yeah, no ramifications.
Put your name out there, put your face out there if you're going to be critical.
I'm with you.
Okay.
Fantastic win, but not a fantastic crowd. Only 16,000 turned up. Very poor. Where are all our fans? And then Rue Tragic's put, sounded like 50 at the ground. Plus, Suns have little support here from opposition supporters and probably some damage control from the Crows game.
I think the Crows game probably kept 4,000 or 5,000 away, maybe. Saturday afternoon. Other sports are on, aren't they? Local footy and all that sort of stuff. And the Suns don't bring anyone.
No.
Like Dimmer in the pre-game interview when they went on over on Pendle's channel, said his mum and dad were in the line, the guard of honour for the Gold Coast Suns. So that's how poor they're going.
Exactly.
Any more?
Yeah, of course. Sorry. I've lost it there. But yeah, they don't bring anyone.
No.
16,000's not too bad against.
Well, it would have been 15,000 North supporters, surely, maybe 15.5.
Right, we'll do one more before we wrap up.
Wasn't that long ago Collingwood played a game there? Well, it was probably 10 years ago. Well, they played Freo, who will bring more because they're a traditional football area, WA. They had 17 at Marvel. Collingwood.
Yeah.
So,
the George,
put
Tom,
in context, 16 is not too bad.
no, the George, Tom, and Harry show. Who on our list can try and bomb goals from the outside 50 instead of the top of the square? It was dispiriting when Anderson did it to us. Why don't we see more efforts like that?
Oh, well, Anderson's a class player, isn't he? He can do it. Trenbath.
I think LDU, that's what we want to see from him.
Yeah, well, he's never done it.
But that's what the knock on him is.
Yeah. I think LDU could do it if he'd back himself in.
Right, that's just about us. What a win. I'm probably going to watch it at least another 3 times.
Yeah. It's certainly the second half and the last quarter where it's Georgie time.
If you've made it this far again, we've got a bit of a trend going just to leave boner time in the comments. We appreciate everyone who has. Like, subscribe, leave your thoughts. I'm sure there's plenty we've missed. We didn't really have a rundown, just sort of going off memory of the best moments. But
still on a high.
Leave your thoughts below. How bloody good.
How bloody good. What have we got coming up? We've got the bye. The players are going away to play golf or go to Bali or do whatever they do, go down to Clarko's farm.
We will be doing a live Q&A.
When are we doing that?
TBD. To be determined.
Okay.
If you're interested as well, I'll be jumping on Kangas TV this week with Marnie, so stay tuned for that. We'll have a great chat. She does a fantastic job.
Nice.
Outside of that, bye week, you'll be getting ready to head over to WA.
Yep.
To catch the 2 home games over there.
Yep, absolutely. Really looking forward to it, especially now. Not so much at half time.
No,
well, I'll always turn up for the bonus, but going with a bit more optimism, or a lot more optimism now.
Exactly.
I want to see that effort for 4 quarters down at Bunbury and then again in Optus.
Yeah, and really attack the second half of the year. Anything's possible. We're 5 and 7. You would have taken that at the start of the year.
Yeah, Freo over there.
5 and 6, sorry.
Freo over there. They've won 10 in a row. They'll be right for the taking it. A little country ground, won't they?
Yep.
And there'll be no bloody Wolfie time. It'll be all boner time. I might try and get the chant going.
Yeah. You look like an idiot if
it
exactly. Come off.
I'll probably look like that anyway.
Yeah. Thanks again, guys, for tuning in. We appreciate every single one of you and all the messages we get, post-pod comments.
Love it.
And that makes it easy to get this out to you guys. We appreciate your love and support.
Yep. It's going to be a lot better week at work this week.
I can't wait.
Big come from behind win.
I'm strutting around work this week. I'll probably wear this tomorrow to work.
Yeah, that's all right.
Really get the chest out and up and about.
You might want to give it a wash. No, you're all good. Okay, until next time, Kangas.
If you got kids, turn it down. If I watch the replay, it might need a bit of a wash. But anyway, until then, it's boner time. Go Roos!